may attempt on the part of Undersecretary Vince Dizon to cast aspersions or to impeach. Well, impeach in the sense na cast doubt on the documents that Congressman Leviste has been talking about. Magaling yung strategy ni Kong Leviste na hindi agad nilabas yung mga barahan niya na checkmate si Dizon. Correct. This is very interesting kasi ang dami pa nating kailangan tahakin bago natin fully appreciate ang so-called list. Now, what is this list? Congressman Leviste has been in the news lately. Nag-live siya a day ago. And today, may bagong raging controversy because may attempt on the part of Undersecretary Vince Dizon to cast aspersions or to impeach impeach in the sense na to cast doubt on the documents, the document that Congressman Leviste has been talking about lately. Okay, so bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag pong kakalimutan like, share, follow, and subscribe. So ulitin ko po, marami pang pag-uusapan tungkol dito sa list na ito. So let's start with one definition. One of the definitions na medyo controversial is the term allocable. Ano ba yung allocable na yan? So we have to understand kung paano nila dinidescribe yung sistema ng pork barrel ngayon. So ano yung pork barrel? Pork barrel is the amount of public funds where the legislator has control over how it is going to be spent. So now, in theory, because the legislature naman talaga ang may power of the purse, parang okay naman yon. But in pork barrel, it is the individual congressman or individual senators who have a say on how that money is going to be spent. So dati, ang pork barrel, they would be called different things. Countrywide Development Fund, mga ganyan. So, CDF dati, di ba? So ngayon, allocable ang tawag. What is this? It is the amount that is budgeted for the DPWH. Okay? It's budgeted for the DPWH, pero it is the individual congressman. O kunwari, DPWH, may budget ka for, example lang to ha, Quezon City, 3rd District, na ganitong amount. The congressman can determine where it is going to be spent, kung ano ang proyekto. So, i-identify niya, DPWH, let's say, has 500 million for a particular project, for the 3rd District of Quezon City, hindi nakalagay yan kung ano yung proyekto. Yung congressman or yung senador ang magsasabi saan yan gagastusin. So, si congressman can say, ilagay nyo yan sa flood control. So, DPWH now will conduct bidding for a flood control project. Now, bakit ito masama? Bakit ito hindi maganda? So, ang pinakapunto ng flood control projects is supposedly, di ba, para mawalan na ng baha dito, lalong-lalo na dito sa mga cities. Okay, but because the individual congressman ang nag-i-identify or individual senators, no, ang nag-identify kung ano yung proyekto na yon, ang gagawin nila is i-maximize nila, or for instance, may 500 million. Regardless of kung may plano, may overall planning for flood control in the metropolis, in the Metro Manila area, mag-identify si congressman na posibleng hindi kaakibat doon sa planning. And in fact, sabi ng iba, ay kina-calculate nila ito para para ma-maximize yung corruption doon sa proyekto na yon. So, mag-identify sila ng mga projects that are not necessarily a good thing. O kaya, overpriced, o kaya hindi kaakibat dun sa national plan. So, ano yung mga examples ng mga ganito? Dati, ang favorite nila, dredging. Kasi madali liquidate. So you just need yung mga boats na magdedredge, yung company na ganon, and then supposedly pictures of the event or the activity and the calculation of how much has been dredged, etc. Tatanggapin na ng COA yun. So itong mga so this was how the graft is being allocated. So allocables kasi allocated. I thought that the root word was allocated, pero for some, parang ito yung inaalok. Now, bakit inaalok? Kasi the consideration for giving to each congressman or senator, iba-iba kasi yung amounts. Bakit iba-iba? Ang nag-identify ng amount is, no, not the House, not the Senate, it is the executive and therefore the president. So, what are we saying here? Hindi na pwedeng sabihin ng Pangulo na wala siyang kinalaman dito sa mga ganitong klaseng graft because the allocables ay iba-iba yung amounts dahil sila yung nag-identify. So, malamang yan sa hindi, and that's actually evident in the documents, mas malaki yung mga kailangan nilang, yung mga kaakibat nila, mga kaibigan nila, and so on. Now, in, I think, September, merong PCIJ, I know you don't like them, but there's a PCIJ report on allocables. And it identified na from 2023 until the present, 2025, ang pinakamalaking allocable ay napunta kay Sandro Marcos, amounting to over 1 trillion. Teka, double check natin ha. Ayun. 1.2 trillion from 2023 to 2025 have gone to Ilocos Norte District Representative Ferdinand Alexander Sandro Marcos and Casin Leyte, kasama pala si Speaker Martin, and Casin Leyte First District Representative Ferdinand Martin Romualdez. 15.8 billion kay Congressman Sandro and 14.4 billion kay Congressman Romualdez for the past so many years. Ayun. Hindi, sorry. 1.2 trillion is the allocable funds. I apologize. Again, of the allocable funds from 2023 to 2025, biggest si Sandro Marcos and number 2 was Speaker Martin Romualdez at 15.8 billion for Sandro and 14.4 billion for Speaker Martin. So ayan. Pero ang total na allocables from 2023 to 2025 is 1.2 trillion. Okay? Kakaloka, daming amounts na na pinag-uusapan natin dito. Do not use the terms lightly. I-discuss natin yung terms. So pag may actual budget insertion, iba yan. Pero pagka mayroong merong ibang term, I'm sorry, it escapes me right now, for those who manifest na, sige, ganito yan, pupuntahan kayo o magko-communicate kayo ang Undersecretary, and usually it was Undersecretary Cabral for the senators, which is why nung binunyag ni Senator Lacson na si Undersecretary Cabral through a member of her staff, through one of her staff, invited or informed Senator Tito Soto na mayroon siyang, allowed siya maggawa ng insertions, and they were asking for his proposal for that. So iba po yan iba ang proposal doon sa actual na nakatanggap. Bakit magkakaroon ang OVP? Well, number one, in 2022, although gawa na yung budget, may control pang konti si Presidente Marcos, and I have personal knowledge of this. Bakit? Kasi nga, during the budget hearings, we had a look, during the first or second cabinet meeting, the cabinet secretaries, having been able to peruse the proposed budgets for their agencies for the next year, 2023, we found out na even our existing budgets for the year ay kulang na rin. except for the MOOE, for whatever it was that was needed to be done to get into the swing of things for the first year of the Marcos administration. So, at that point, VP Sara still had the political goodwill between her and the president, and she could have asked for additional projects for whatever area she could identify. So, ulitin ko ha, just because mayroong proposal doesn't mean she got it. On screen ha. Let's go to Congressman Leviste's recent postings. Bakit nagsabi siya na ire-release niya tapos hindi pala niya ire-release? Or ang feeling ko ay inuupuan niya yan. Papangako siya ng papangako dito kay Kong Leviste tapos sasabihin niya, o sige sa susunod na lang. O sige tika muna, patapusin muna natin ito. Ay sorry na busy ako titignan ko yan later on. Ay nako, ang dami na nating kilalang mga government agencies na mahilig magganyan. Sabi ni NFT, merong DDH na nag-repost niyan kanina at ang caption, legit sana kaso DDS si Kong Leviste. Ang tawag po dyan sa argumentong yan ay ad hominem. You are attacking the person and not the document. Di ba? Uy, even a broken clock is correct twice a day, di ba? Sabi ni Ma'am Marie, magaling yung strategy ni Kong Leviste na hindi agad nilabas yung mga barahan niya. Now, na-checkmate si Dizon. Correct. Inano niya muna. That's called managing your information. Sabi ni Rai, with all the delaying tactics and cover-ups, pwede na ba sampahan din ng kaso si Sec Vince? Bakit nagmamadali kayo? Okay. Anong isasampa na kaso, sir? So, posible na admin, pero dahil he serves at the pleasure of the president, pwedeng deadmahin ng presidente yan. Thank you very much. Dun sa mga nagtap-tap-tap or nagtatap-tap-tap pa rin dito sa ating TikTok. Para dun sa mga nanonood sa atin sa Facebook at saka sa YouTube, huwag pong kakalimutan mag-like at mag-share. And for those, and to follow or subscribe. Sabi ni Otto, matatapos na ang taon, wala pa rin nakukulong. Ano na, Mr. President, sabi mo, bago magpasko, may makukulong. Bulol na naman. Well, hindi talaga ako naniwala dyan. Hindi siya, it wasn't a very bright statement, sa totoo lang, kasi mahaba ang proseso. That mayroong preliminary investigation. Anong ginawa niya? Hindi ba iyan ang sinasabi natin from the very start? Gumawa siya ng ICI. But before gumawa siya ng ICI, nag-tour of Luzon and the Visayas and Mindanao pa siya, pointing to areas and saying, hala, ghost project yan. Di ba? May mga ganun-ganun siya. O ito, substandard. O ito, ganito. Why did he waste so much time preening before the cameras when actually he should have been directing the law enforcement agencies that are under the executive to initiate the investigation? And he should have talked to his allies in Congress and in the Senate to cooperate with these investigations, maglabas na ng kanilang mga dokumento. The DPWH is under the Office of the Executive. He could have ordered the DPWH to fully cooperate with the investigators. Did he do that? No. He wasted so much time, posing before the cameras and talking, ay, grabe, ay, may ghost project, ilang buwan ang inaksaya niya doing all of that. Tapos gumawa-gawa siya ng another agency to investigate na ano naman ang saysay ng panibagong committee na yon para mag-imbestiga. What's wrong with the other, with the existing law enforcement agencies? Or even better, bakit hindi siya nag-create ng task force? Wala. Of course, hindi niya gina-justify yung ICI. And in fact, dahil sa kamamadali niya later on, realizing na alam na natin na nagdi-delay yung tactic lang siya, create yung ICI pagkatapos, may budget ba sila? Halos wala. Next, after the ICI, may Senate investigation naman, may House inquiry naman. Hindi ba pwedeng mag-share ng information? Hindi. The ICI wasted so much time na paulit-ulit na yung same witnesses, sana they got the evidence at saka clarificatory na lang. If this is what they did, bravo, congratulations. But it still was an excruciatingly slow process. The president knew what he was doing. The president knew na nagtatagal siya sa mga ginawa niya. And yet, nangako siya, Disyembre may aresto. Of course, mas magagalit ang mga tao kung abogado siya because then he would know the actual timeline of how quickly this can be, how quickly something like this can be created, how quickly a case can be filed. Unfortunately, yun na nga, unfortunately for the president, kitang-kita ang kaputian. So, kung walang naaresto nitong Disyembre, natural, tagal-tagal ninyo Kayo naman dyan ang nagbagal. Ano yung purpose na pupunta ka pa sa mga lugar at sasabihin, ay, may ganyan. Di dapat nun pa lang nag-umpisa na yung investigasyon. Kailan niya ginawa ang ICI? Nakailang tour na siya. So, the point here is that, di ba, the administration, sila yung nag-umpisa nitong whole investigations and looking into the flood control issue and corruption na kaakibat nito. Pero sila mismo, ang nakikita natin na nag-hesitate pagdating sa ebidensya. Look at what Sec Vince Dizon is doing. And he is involved in everything. Nasa ICI siya, kung saan-saan siya. He appears in the Senate and all that. Ang dami-daming press con, ina-attendan niya lahat. Ngayon, after being so righteously angry, ay, wala na yan, hindi na magkakaroon ng korupsyon, ganun. Anong unang-una niyang ginawa after lumabas yung General Appropriations Bill at saka yung ng House and ng Senate, bills ng House at ng Senate, pumunta siya sa BICAM to beg for additions. Di ba? What did he do? He begged for additions matapos niyang i-assert na, ay, wala ng corruption dyan. Matindi ang pagsisiyasat dyan.